Good morning once again, everyone. Welcome to the second session of the day. We organized this FDP to bridge the gap between the requirements of contemporary trends in education in terms of innovation and creativity and the holistic development. In this reference, our theme of the day is 21st century skills for university teachers, and this particular session is dedicated to life and career skills. To speak on this important topic, we have two very prominent personalities with us. We have with us Professor Dr. Sandeep Manchi, who is Chief Operating Officer, Remorphing Advisory, and our very own Professor Dr. Shobna Podarji, Dean Corporate Relations, Home Sterling Global University. Let me invite our first speaker of the day. Professor Dr. Shobna Podarji is Dean Corporate Relations and Training, Home Sterling Global University, has extensive exposure of 17 plus years with leading universities and worked with All India Management Association, New Delhi. She has also been associated with University of Petroleum and Energy Studies, Dehradun, Narsi Monji University, Mumbai, ICFI University, Dehradun, Rayat Bhara University, Punjab, and IDUPROG Limited. She has maintained training and development, corporate relations, and international relations with number of national and international universities. Ma'am has been a prolific speaker on the areas of soft skills, career guidance, personality development, and communication, etc. Ma'am holds PhD in management and has various papers to her credit. So, ma'am, we look forward to hear from you. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Tanu. And it's really a good opportunity for all of us for this wonderful faculty development program under the theme of 21st century, teaching, and as well as a sub theme of life skill and career skills. I can say it's really a wonderful session even for the students of the university also to know what they maintain themselves, how they aware themselves, how they polish themselves, how they upgrade themselves, when they are appearing in front of the corporates as well. So as the topic is life skills, I can define as a life skill is a group of psychological competency and interpersonal skills that help people make informed decisions, solve problems, think critically and creatively, communicate effectively, I can say, build healthy relationships and empathize with others and cope up also with and manage their life, in a healthy and a, more effective manner. So as some of the life skills are, the core life skill strategies and techniques as problem solving, critical thinking, effective communication skills, decision making, creative thinking, interpersonal relationship skills, self-awareness building skills, empathy and coping with the stress and emotions as well. So, in addition to this, I'm just presenting some of these slides in front of you for the life skill and career skills. Be skilled. You only have to know one thing, you can learn anything. So life skills. A person needs a set of social features and personal capabilities to interact with themselves and other people in and around their environment and to make the decision which require high ability, also to find solutions to various kinds of problems. Moreover, the skills required to deal positively with any condition to get the desired outcome is we call the life skills. So life skills can be developed through encouragement to adapt to society and promote positivity in personal behaviors as well as by adopting a positive perspective towards work. If we ask about the objectives, so these skills are the abilities for adapted and positive behavior that enables humans to deal effectively with the demands and challenges of life, to provide opportunity for realizing one's potential through practical experience. So, in to develop interpersonal skills and adopt good leadership behavior for empowerment of self and others, and to set appropriate goals, manage stress and time effectively. Importance of life skills that make us competent to know how to make our life easy and simple, how to create a positive life, how life can be spent in the right way. It polishes the ability to adapt to all kinds of circumstances and succeed in every aspect of society. Lack of life skill in the lives of new generation needs to be taken care as it is important in life, and due to absence of life skill, not only personal lives but professional lives and career get affected. Therefore, we can say that life skills are very important in our life. In addition to that, I'm just adding the career skills. The career skills, some of the main points are the self-awareness. We have to, aware about ourselves to know our personality. Interview skills, right? That learn to, frequently asked questions during interview. Grooming yourself to study corporate grooming habits, the right attire, body language to imbibe the right body language for a professional environment, confidence to increase self belief and faith in one's own ability, I can say. Effective resume to build strong profile through effective resume writing. Rejections are always there to understand how to handle interview rejections and come back from setbacks. Corporate readiness, on the other hand, like the values, the ownership, the respect, teamwork, time management, and positive attitude. Values, correlate with an introduction to values in a corporate environment. Ownership, I can say, to learn how to accountable and own task, projects, etc. Respect, to understand the importance of respect as a critical corporate value. Teamwork, to understand collaboration and its importance in the corporate world. Positive attitude, to make the step towards the positive success by adopting the right approach, right choice. In basket simulation, the learning applications, on the other hand, like the mock interviews, the group discussions, SWOT analysis, active listening, problem solving, aptitude and logical reasoning. So mock interviews, I can add it that you have to, the students have to know how to appear in front of the uh, interviewer, in front of the employer, how to manage the time, how the stress can be managed and to lower the depression. How to improve the effectiveness at work in balancing the time management, and to take the step towards positive success by adopting the right approach. Group discussion, rules, and enhanced public speaking skills is also a part of that. So I can say focus on today and carefully look to the future. Life skills are what is in it for me, for us. The quality within students, within an individual plays an important role, which in turn depends on exemplary training, regular upskilling oneself will turn on to successful entrepreneur, job posting, etc. So certain qualities help to get the dream job, the holistic attitude. Transformation means upgrade yourself with latest technologies, and one should be adaptive to the nature. Like I can say that the post COVID, majority of work and learning turned online, that is on virtual platform in each and every aspects. You should be innovative, creative, business ideas, helpful to become entrepreneur or able to get your dream job. Certain examples are there, like if we can say some of the inspiring personalities like Oyo owner, Mr. Hitesh Agarwal, a simple graduate, currently owns, 2.5 millions approx. And Facebook and LinkedIn, Instagram owner Mark Zuckerberg, net worth is his net worth is in the billions, I can say. So these, personality turn their personalities and in the way move forward and, adapt the qualities and, contribute to the society as well. Some of the do's and don'ts that we all knows, that how to list up, how to crack up, how to brush up the technical knowledge, how to present, how to participate in mock interviews and marketable skills, having the and increasing your general knowledge, etc. So we have to take some of the trainings, like the technical and soft skill trainings. We have to upgrade ourselves. And as in general scenario, recruiting partners, always explore the skill-based technical and non-technical talents within the students, within the individuals. So to get the job of your dream or to become as an entrepreneur, preparation is only the key. How to deal with the clients, how to, brush up yourself and make yourself ready. This in all.
Thank you, Professor Shobna ma'am, for enlightening the audience about psychological competency and interpersonal skills. You spoke about empathy, which is critical in these days, and thank you for talking in detail about life skills and how these can be developed through empowerment of self and others by managing time, energy, and many more. Thank you, ma'am. We definitely look forward to hear from you again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for the opportunity and welcome, Dr. Sandeep Man. It's now your shoe.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone.
We are honored.
Dr.
Yes, sir.
Tanu, I think I'm just hand over to Dr. Tanu prior to Dr. Sandeep to brief about the introduction of Mr. Sandeep Man.
Yes, ma'am. Yes. We are honored that we have with us impeccable professional from industry, very prominent Professor Sandeep Manji. Professor Sandeep Man is a polymath with practices in talent search, mentoring, startups, academics, and law firms. From last 2 decades, Sir has been practicing international business law and has been a very influential corporate transformation entrepreneurship enabler. With strong educational background in engineering, management, and law, Sir is a serial entrepreneur, conference speaker, prolific writer, and corporate analyst. Sir has ably guided a corporate advisory practice across C-suite placements and mentoring board members, having placed 800 plus vice presidents and CXOs over multiple industries, especially in infrastructure power, financial, consumer goods, logistics, technology, and hospitality. We are glad that you are with us today, sir, and we would like to hear from you. Thank you. Over to you, sir.
Thanks, Dr. Tanu, and thanks, Dr. Shobna. So it's a heavy worded kind of a theme you have: innovations, creativity, holistic skills of 21st century. I'm glad we are in 21st century now. Some of the speakers are products of the previous century, and some of the audience might be from this century or on the verge, cusp of the two. Now, one could talk about 1,000 things, and let me try to talk about at least a few hundred or 50 of those. I assume that the audience is more or less dedicated to the profession of teaching, or there might be some learners, students, or actually you have to be student all your life, right? And you have to be teacher all your life. Similarly, you have to be a salesperson in everything you do. I'm trying to sell my ideas to you, my concept to you. So in a relationship, you have to sell your perspective to the other person, right? So selling is an art, psychology is an art, sociology has to be known, political science has to be known. So you mentioned the word polymath. So that has been my journey, wherein you're supposed to do 10 MAs or 10 masters in this life. So you should have a crash course, maybe a 3-day crash course of psychology, all important theories, all important thinkers, models, frameworks, etc., terminology. Then roll on to literature, roll on to language, linguistics, sciences, do all engineerings, civil also, agriculture also, electrical, computer also. You can't say I'm ignorant on these. You have to know a little about a lot of things in this world and roll on into sociology, political science, mathematics, statistics, anthropology, whatever domain formal knowledge wise has been there. And the purpose of knowledge, the cause of knowledge, the structure of knowledge, the methods of handling all this, isn't all of this artificial intelligence? So in fact, studies have also shown that Nobel Prize winners specialize in three areas. You can't be a one box person, right? So with this perspective, there are various dimensions we need to look at. I have given my WhatsApp number in case somebody wants to reach out. Or is it there on my signage?
Pardon? Yeah.
Well, 98913 69629. If anybody would like to message a query or something, I can address, or it'll come in the chat. I don't know. So we began talking
Yes,
about
sir. So the
creativity.
participants will be,
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
am I, yes, sir. So the participants will be sending the queries through YouTube, sir, and I'll be posting it for you in the chat box, sir.
Perfect. Fine. So, so there's a guy who lives in a very tall building, and every morning he dresses up and goes to the lift and goes to the ground floor. Then he goes to his office. In the evening, when he's tired or something, he comes back, he gets to the lift, he goes to the 30th floor through the lift. He stays on the top floor, 50th floor. So he walks all the way from 30th floor to the 50th floor. And that's how it is. So why does he act like this? Or another poser I can give you is police got a complaint that a murder had happened. They came on the scene of crime and they saw John was lying on the ground. There was some broken glass here and there. There was a lot of water splashed on the floor. The windows were bolted, and there was a small hole through which human beings. So there was a small hole through which a human being couldn't have gotten. So you have to figure out what really happened. So if I had all day workshop with you, I'll probably not give you the answer straight away. But in this case, they say the man who is staying on the 50th floor is really short in. So you have to visualize when he gets in the lift, he has to press the ground floor, which is towards the lower stack of that panel of floors. And when he comes back, he's a short man, so he's not able to press the 50th floor. So he presses the 30th floor, and then he has to walk all the way. If it's a rainy day, then he's carrying an umbrella, so through which he's able to press the 50th floor. Similarly, John is a fish. John is not a human being. And the aquarium is broken, so maybe a cat has done something wrong on that. So what are this? These are lateral thinking problems. And Edward de Bono is a celebrated author. He is no more with us. He gave the concept that all education is thinking about future, and intelligence and thinking. These are not God gifted kind of things. They can be learned. So you have a fine university. I noticed the name Sterling, Sterling. So sterling, pound, or gold, or that kind of a thing. So precious. So are you rolling out sterling kind of students? Do you have sterling kind of pedagogy? Is everything you're doing A plus 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 plus? Or is it somewhere mediocre? Is it because of compulsions of culture or practicalities of business? Education is business. Is it something a little low? So this time is time to think. So De Bono, he gave the education system for Venezuela, and Venezuela has had the maximum number of beauty queens. And you know that in the last round, the physical round is over, they are given a question. And the contestants have to answer to that question. So that answer has to be very nice and wise and appealing. So people with a very good EQ, people with a balance of mind who can understand the question well and give a very witty, sharp response, they would probably win the crown, this universe. And Venezuela has done that so many times. In fact, Rajiv Gandhi, our ex-prime minister, a long time back, we were unfortunate to lose him. He contacted De Bono that why don't you make the education curricula for India? And the dialogue parleys were going on, and somehow at that point, Gandhiji was assassinated. So it didn't happen. Had De Bono come to India, our education curricula, everything would have been changed. The way Sam Pitroda came to the scene under Rajiv Gandhi. And because of that, I'm a BJP supporter, by the way. So don't take any political damage on that. So, although at current BJP, I'm not feeling like supporting, but nevertheless, that's the family thing. That's my personal thing. I hope I can be myself as I'm talking with you. So, uh, Sam Pitroda gave this internet, fiber, and telecom, etc. Because of this, all this conference is possible in this online mode. Else, we were living in some kind of prehistoric ages. Yes? Okay. So, De Bono couldn't come in. That's it. So, now De Bono very interestingly says that, see, there is a concept of lateral thinking. Lateral thinking means by looking hard in this direction, I may not find the answer or solution because the answer lies in that direction. I'll have to turn my neck, look in that direction, and then find the answer. By looking hard in this direction, I'll not find it because the answer is not in this way of thinking. Similarly, by digging a hole right here, I may not reach oil because the hole has to be dug somewhere else. Okay, it has to be somewhere else, not here. So, changing the point of application of the question, at times, even saying why this question, at times asking the right question, and then getting on with the solution finding, that is probably needed. And life requires this. It's very unfortunate that our education system doesn't teach the most important things like how to make a CV, resume, what career to choose, what subjects to choose after 10th, how to handle relationships, parenting, people marry and children are born out of it, that, and pedestrian psychology, nobody understands basics of psychology even, and children just grow up like jhad or trees or something, and what kind of children they grow up, what sanskar they have. The previous session was talking about morals and values and stuff. So what kind of generations come up, etc. So that kind of a discussion thought also needs to be done. So De Bono in a way says that life is about foresight, जो आगे आने वाला है, not about hindsight. And all our education system is about hindsight, कि क्या हो गया, उसमें से क्या सीखा. अरे अभी जो मैं देख रहा हूं, this moment of now, what all is happening, what is happening to price of gold and oil and यूक्रेन में क्या हो रहा है, नैस्डैक में क्या हो रहा है, ये तो मुझे पता नहीं है. और मैं 1960 1930 का कोई इकोनॉमिक्स का थियरी पढ़ा रहा हूं. Won't do. So education has to be now. अगर आप रोज का अखबार लेकर जाते हैं क्लासरूम में और उससे रिलेटेड बातें बता सकते हैं, अगर आप नेटफ्लिक्स पे जो सीरीज चल रही हैं और जो लेटेस्ट मूवीज आई हैं इस वीक, उनको लेकर if you're not able to talk, then you don't understand education, you don't understand skill. They say that people who don't have any choice, they become teachers. That's a sad part. So please don't corrupt this profession. I'm not a trained teacher, but by experience and by learning and by intent, I've been able to do wonders. And people come and say this. I can see it in their eyes. I can see it in their heart. I can see it in their voice, that emotionality that comes up when you meet an alumnus of yours. And it's not important कि वो successful है या नहीं. In fact, जो लोग आपसे कम सीखते हैं, they become better citizens, better human beings, and better achievers in business and in jobs. People who do a lot of ratta and pass this exam or that exam, they are actually mediocres. That's another dimension of competitive exams, etc. I believe that if I look at 10th grade, people who have 85% or more, they have proven they can learn from books, but they know nothing about practical life. And people who have 70% or below, they've proven that they've learned from outside the classroom, outside the practical, from the practical things. But they have not proven that they could learn from the books. People who are in this mid band, 70 to 85% or so, they do the best in life. That's my experience, that's my finding. You can check it out. You may agree or disagree. That's how it is, right? So uh, try to give holistic. This is what is holistic. Book से सीखना आता है, टीचर से सीखना आता है, क्लासमेट से सीखना आता है, सीनियर से सीखना आता है, जूनियर से सीखना आता है, एंड पेरेंट से सीखना आता है, फ्रेंड से सीखना आता है. Only peers are not important. These days, a lot of peer pressure and this and that, because nobody else counts. And peer has same kind of EQ, IQ as yours. So maybe you relate well, you gel well, you understand your peer better. The two people of the same age, they talk the same kind of lingo. So communication is great. But the substance, the advisability of that advice, the practicality of that, the wisdom in that, that could be a problem, right? From a Google perspective, you know that you can find data, but what is the information in that? You have to process it, you have to validate the data. A lot of spurious fake data also floats on the internet. So do you have the judgment to know what data is correct, what is not? Taking data from the Google as a start point, what triggers? Do you research it well? Are you doing plagiarism or doing something original and creative? I think all of these dimensions come in. So I am usually used to doing an interactive way of talking. So if the host could, or any one or two people could be given voice in this session. Yeah.
For the participants, sir?
Yeah, if you can make 2 or 3 participants live and they represent the audience, I think that way the
Let
practicality will be
me,
there. Else I can
let
keep on
Yeah.
me try
talking.
to.
Dr. Tanu, kindly see that there should be no disturbance during the session.
Yes.
Kindly
Let me
see.
try to.
Or you could be the person asking, because it's a whole damn wide field, you know, that you are already having a massive
Yes, sir.
conference.
I'm here, sir.
I can give perspectives. So fundamentally, from an education perspective, imagination is very important. That is about foresight. Future में क्या होने वाला है? अगर वो नहीं सोचा, my father used to say, कवि और रवि कहीं भी पहुंच सकते हैं. So Ravi is a Surya in that sense, moves all across the world in that sense. And Kavi. So poet's imagination. So science fiction, literature, fiction, these are very important things. In US, which is a good quality education system, and better than that is the Scandinavian countries. A lot of US parents put their children in Norway these days, etc. Because in Norway, what happens? If you're not 7 years, you're not in school. You don't go to school before 7 years of age. Then every 1 hour, 15 minutes have to be in the field. They say your clothing can be bad, weather can't be bad. And Norway वगैरह आप समझते हैं, there'll be a lot of darkness also 6 months, and there'll be snow and ice and whatnot. So every 15 minutes out of an hour they have to go out. Then the EQ has to be there. I found that PhDs from India lack EQ, whereas a fourth grader in US or Western countries, she has a great EQ. That child would be munching a burger or something or in the classroom and would have the confidence to say, Mrs. Smith, you're looking nice. Or can even say, you're looking sexy. And nobody minds that language. Expression is there because, see, If something beautiful is around you, you can't appreciate it because ये तो teacher है, ये तो भगवान है. This is somebody too high, and I can't comment. If the hearts are not connecting, what kind of teaching and education and learning will happen? Nothing. So no barrier should be there. You have to be, as they say, teacher has to be three things. I'm just improvising. वो एक दोहा है कि घड़े में बाहर से फादर का थप थप, अंदर से मदर का सपोर्ट, प्यार, अफेक्शन एंड फ्रेंड वाला बात. So जब आप फादर भी होते हैं, assessment, hard taskmaster, saying the harsh things if they are needed, because calling a spade is needed. Realism जरूरी होता है, truth जरूरी है, mirror दिखाना जरूरी है, but मदर की तरह सपोर्ट करना, बेटा हो जाएगा, काफी हो गया है. जैसे मेरे नानी जी मुझे कहते थे कि घड़ी बीत गई थोड़ी रहेगी, काट ले. एंड शी वुड गिव मी सम सिंपल थिंग्स लाइक ये कॉलेज का टाइम है, इसमें राजा बनो या रंक बनो. बाइनरी लॉजिक. Raja, king, ruler, or rank, fakir, bhikhari, at mercy of others. So binary logic, make your pick, nothing in between. Yeah. So a teacher has to be like this also. Then there are the traditional models of teaching from a pedagogy perspective. One is the Indian one that see, मैं 4 बजे उठ जाता हूँ, आप मेरे गुरुकुल में हैं, मेरे आश्रम में हैं, आप भी 4 बजे उठिए. देखो मैं कितना हार्शनेस से लाइफ करता हूँ, मैं फलाना व्रत करता हूं, मैं योग करता हूं, मैं साधना करता हूं, आप भी करिए, मेरे जैसे बनिए, क्योंकि मैं परफेक्ट एग्जाम्पल हूं. जंगल में कोई और है नहीं, गुरुकुल में एडल्ट ग्रोन अप मैं हूं और मेरी पत्नी है, ऋषि जी हैं और उनकी पत्नी है, राइट. सो दैट वाज द इंडियन मॉडल. द वेस्टर्न मॉडल इज द फुटबॉल कोच कि लुक एट व्हाट आई एम आस्किंग यू टू लुक एट, डोंट लुक एट मी. मेरा तो पहुंच है, मैं तो तोंद निकला हुआ मोटू हूं, मैं तो अब दौड़ भी नहीं सकता, पर तुम्हें जो दौड़ने को बता रहा हूं, तुम्हें जो टेक्निक सिखा रहा हूं, आपको जो कह रहा हूं ऐसे करो वैसे करो, आप उधर देखो, आपको उसको सीखना है, मेरे से कंपटीशन नहीं है. क्लासरूम्स में बहुत ज्यादा मैंने देखा है कि टीचर्स की असेसमेंट होती है, टीचर्स के मजाक भी बनते हैं, छेड़ भी बनती है, टीचर के साथ तू ता भी करते हैं लोग वगैरह वगैरह. कम ऑन, द टीचर इज गुड और बैड इज अ फैसिलिटेटर. जो उन्हें आता है वो करा देंगे, आप उसमें से जो सीख सकते हैं सीखिए, नहीं सीख सकते तो बाहर जाइए, कुछ और करिए. So teacher should never take attendance, I believe. From my times, I can tell you, and I think this ratio is same. If you have 10 teachers, 2 will be damn good. 4, 5 will be okay kind, and others would be bad, atrocious. उनकी क्लास में बैठा नहीं जा सकता, उनमें नींद आती है, they are so bloody boring, and they talk, I don't know what they talk, they don't understand their field, they're talking from some notes of 5, 10 years back, they are nothing contemporary. Your topic is contemporary, they're nothing contemporary in their thought. They stopped researching, stopped reading, they have not read a book for years, and they are expected to make you live, contemporary skilling. It will not happen. So I've never done a job because I couldn't sit in classes. So I used to bunk my classes. I used to watch a lot of movies. I think movies have taught me a lot. Or I used to go to the library and read a lot. So I compensated. So I'm not the role model for you. You choose your own, but always have the confidence to look at the eye of anybody and say, Mister, you're wrong. Mister, this is a boring class. Why don't you do something about it? And become a good demanding customer. Japan is a good economy because, see, the Japanese customer was demanding. So when the cars were made, he said, this car is not okay. I want a better car. I want still a better car. And the cars improved. So when the Japanese, the domestic market was anyway small, they internationalized. Their product could be sold in US and Europe because the product was good. Indian customer has been very non-demanding. Bajaj scooters, 9-month waiting time, those long days I'm saying. Cars, Ambassador, Fiat, now Maruti. New generations are a very different paradigm now. So old things may not be counted. But you have to become a demanding person. So Indians are not very demanding customers. Indians are like Europeans. They'll go to a hotel. If there's a problem, they'll not tell the owner. They'll go and tell their friends, don't go there. Wahan mat jana. American customer, We'll call the management and say, ये जो तुम्हारा faucet है leak कर रहा है, या this air conditioner is not working or something like this. They'll stand by that person's side and help him do it or give him some advice, watch it and get it done. And not tell other friends because the job was done. So you have to improve the performance of the environment. What happens, देखिए, there are various models of life. One model is हम सबको ड्राइविंग करना है, हम सबको कहीं ना कहीं से जाना है, करेक्ट. सो एनालॉजी इज आप कार चला रहे हैं और आप पॉइंट ए टू बी जा रहे हैं. आप न्यू दिल्ली से फरीदाबाद जा रहे हैं या बॉम्बे टू पुणे जा रहे हैं, वट एवर. सो पॉइंट ए टू बी आप जा रहे हैं, या हैदराबाद से बैंगलोर. आई ड्रोव वन ऑफ दीज डेज few months back. It was a nice drive and highway is very good. So when you go from point A to B, you'll find problems on the way. You'll find road may potholes, you may find some traffic congestion and whatnot. So one method is find your way, do your job, and that's it. Second is, if you have to repeatedly do it, you have to do something about it. Nobody else will come and do anything for you. Third thing is, you had your innings, but children and other people are going to come on this highway. So why can't they get a nice experience? So I have a concept of a half-kilometer radius, which means within a 1 kilometer dia of myself, by my house, anything is wrong, it is my responsibility. अगर कोई ट्रैश कहीं पड़ा हुआ है, या सड़क खराब है, या क्राइम ज्यादा हो रहा है, as a citizen, I have to look after my 1 square kilometer. If I do that, a lot of people in the country do that, this country would be superb. But we don't do that. We want somebody else to come and do that spoon feeding. We stay children. कि मामा आएंगी वो खाना बना के दे देंगी, एक सरकार आएगी वो आके कुछ अच्छा काम कर देगी. So when we are not hooked up into society, community, and what holistic? Nothing. I hope I am making a connect. I don't have any feedback or any chat is coming. Is there any chat? I don't know people.
Yeah.
I'm just talking to a
Just me.
So that's a.
I'm just getting it.
Is there any chat, Dr. Tanu? Is there any chat?
I'm getting it now. Taking it from YouTube.
Okay.
From a skill perspective, I'll tell you what. See, competitive exams, you have to have some testing, some knowledge, and some skill. These three pillars, if they're strong, then you'll get whatever goal in life. What does testing mean? Under real conditions, do a lot of testing. So you have a UPSC exam, you have a CAT exam, or anything else. Sit for 3 hours. If it's a 3-hour test, work for 6 hours. When I was preparing for GRE, I had very few mock tests to prepare for. With what I did, I saw that this test is a stamina test. In the last half an hour, you don't know what is happening to you. The important, simple questions you've already done, the tough you're not able to do, and you're just meaninglessly moving in that space. So I have to become a good thinker, a quality thinker, last half an hour also. It's like if I'm running a marathon, the last 2 miles count a lot. If I do 2-mile run every day, I'm not preparing for marathon. Marathon is 26 miles, so many yards. So I have to take it to the end. And in fact, I have to run maybe 40-50 miles to be good on marathon of 26 miles. So you need to take back-to-back tests. If it's a 3-hour test, do 2 tests back-to-back. And look at the score of the second test. That is your genuine score. And that's the kind of score you'll get in your real exam also. So what I did was a funny thing. So I stayed awake for 24 hours, took a mock. It went okay. After a few days, I stayed awake for 48 hours, took a test. Okay. Third test, I stayed awake for 72 hours. I keep on doing silly, random, stupid things with myself. But then that's how I've been through student age and even now. So that test also went okay. So I just practiced 5 mocks, but this way, 3 were like this. And so I could score pretty high on my GRE down the line. So skill coming out of testing. Knowledge is a very important thing. What happens is let's say you're doing quadratic equations and you've done the theory, you've done the solved examples, you've done easy question, moderate question, tough question. You have been working on the chapter for 2.5 hours, and now you're doing question number 43, and it is happening. Mind mein warm up ho gaya. But in under real exam, what will happen? You will get maybe ninth question on probability, 10th question percentage profit loss, 11th question on time and work, and 12th question on quadratic equation. Life and test don't allow a warm up. So if you're not trained, you're for cold start. Okay, without a warm up, you don't have the skill. So for this conference, we were told in advance, but for many things, you'll not be told in advance. On the spot, right now, what do I do? That's very important. So ability to speak on a topic. So I do a lot of jam tactic. Uh, I can do that for 2 minutes, 3 minutes practically. So I'll give you topics, and at your end, all the audience, I want you to speak for half a minute on that topic. Okay, and without planning, and start immediately. Okay, so I'm doing 6 topics, half minute each, quickly. So my first topic to you is my role model.
Can you repeat,
So as
sir?
a, my role model, anybody can speak on this. Or speak to yourself wherever you are.
So, sir, the audience who is attending from YouTube will not be able to speak. Will you allow them to please
But
write? And
they can write, no issue. But speaking is speaking, so they can speak in their sense. अपने आप से बात करें. I assume they are honest
जी.
learners. They want to learn. Okay. Next topic is Chandragupta Maurya. आपको जो भी कहना है कहिए आप उसके ऊपर.
audience, I am sure you are writing what sir has asked you to write about.
Hello.
Yes, sir, you are audible, sir.
Yeah. Sorry, I think I went off here for a while. So next topic is number 0. Next topic is comparing Salman Khan with Amir Khan. And last topic is autobiography of a dustbin. Autobiography of a dustbin. So this whole world, this is a jam technique. Just a minute. And you must have realized that immediately shifting from one topic to another, being able to speak something meaningful or what is a challenge. But without doing this practice, you'll never become good on your subject matter or anything. And half a minute ही बोलना है, 1 minute बोलना है, could be done, big deal. Why have any inhibition? Why have any shyness? Okay, I thought say four things. First thing is RT, response time. That should be less than 5 seconds. You should begin speaking in 5 seconds, not too much of planning. Then flow, you should be able to speak for 50 seconds at least. चाहे इंग्लिश बोलो, हिंदी बोलो, पंजाबी बोलो, बंगाली बोलो, whichever language, mix कर बोलो, but बोलो तो, because your thinking has to be faster, not language. Your ability to generate ideas. Then third thing is quantity. That means number of dimensions, number of points, number of facets you talk of. And last thing is quality, the way you're talking. Is your voice modulating? Are you using pauses? Is gesticulation there? Are you using some interesting example, some story? Is the audience liking it so that when you have finished 1 minute of speaking, they say, please carry on. Maza aa raha hai. It's going good. Okay. So if it's a lecture like this, if it's a topic like this, that's wonderful. Else it is boring, not done. And this life is all about your mastery on topics. This life and this career and whatever we're facing these days is about our mastery on keywords. So it's something like stress. Ma'am was talking of stress. If I have not read 4-5 blog items on stress, I don't know basic psychology principles on stress, what causes, how to handle, how to detect, then either my students will be stressed or I'll be stressed, both of us would be under stress, and nothing good will come out of that. Else, it's a practical thing. It's stress. There is stress in life. Let's do something about it. Let's become engineers about it rather than complainers about it. So you need to have that analytic mind. You go to a McDonald's or a Domino's pizza. Do you know what is cheese? How cheese is made? Have you watched the process of making a pizza? You know how to make tea or an omelette. But do you know how to make a pizza? How to make a biryani? Why not? YouTube has all the recipes. You are not supposed to be a chef, but have some basic understanding. Can you use a knife nicely? Can you fold a shirt nicely? Can you iron a shirt? These are practical things. If they're not learned, all your knowledge is bakwas. All your degrees, tear them and throw them off. Okay, you're not fit for life. Life will give you situations wherein you'll be having some kind of a problem or something. Okay, so similarly, cryptocurrency, artificial intelligence, machine learning, थोड़ा बहुत तो पता होना चाहिए. अखबार में दिया होता है, मैगजीन्स में दिया होता है, आजकल प्रिंट में नहीं आता है, तो उसमें आता है बहुत सारा, रीडिंग वगैरह में आता है, ऑनलाइन में आप अपना जीमेल वगैरह को हुकअप कर सकते हैं, ट्रिगर्स. There's a lot of technology also which is helping. There's so many apps which are learning oriented, but people use them for some silly chat or what. सत्संग बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है लर्निंग के लिए. You are the average of 5 important people around you, right? आप उन्हीं को मिरर करते हैं, वैसे ही फेशियल एक्सप्रेशन, वैसे ही लाइफ सिचुएशन की चीजें सीखते हैं, वैसी हैबिट सीखते हैं. सो अगर बुक्स आपके आसपास नहीं है, टेड टॉक्स आपके आसपास नहीं है, यूट्यूब के इंटरेस्टिंग वीडियोस नहीं है, नेशनल ज्योग्राफिक डिस्कवरी चैनल को नहीं वॉच करते हैं, एंटरटेनमेंट भी देखो, मूवीज भी देखो, बट बिहाइंड द सीन्स जाओ मूवी में. स्टॉप बीइंग ओनली कंज्यूमर्स. जब हम गुफाओं में रहते थे 1 लाख साल पहले, हमें फिजिक्स केमिस्ट्री नहीं आता था, बायोलॉजी नहीं आता था, zoology बॉटनी नहीं पढ़ा हुआ था, but every human being that 1 lakh years back was a scientist. He found a solution to his problems. That's why we are here. नहीं तो वो भी मर सकते थे, वो भी कह सकते खत्म, आगे जाने की क्या जरूरत है. So they struggled, they fought. So we need to be scientists and producer of ideas also. Many of us are, I think, just consumers these days, silly consumers. Division of labor is there, okay? So in your chosen area, be the best human being on the planet. You're talking about teaching or education. Give thoughts which are frontline, contemporary, cutting edge, which are really 21st century kind, which are important, which can be linked to, related to. Okay, so they also say that through the process of education and culturalization, we have to become diamonds. Now, a diamond has 4 C's. it has cut, it has clarity, it has color, it has carrot. Similarly, as a person, we have to become a diamond. Now, two things. One is a piece of coal, koile ka tukda, which has undergone tons of pressure and not crumbled, will become a diamond. So, people who avoid pressure, not done. Do stretch jobs. Don't do a job that stretches so much that you feel like a useless person, you feel like you know nothing, you feel like suicide. No, not that much. But 5-10% stress stretch every day. जो आपका current ability है उससे थोड़ा और थोड़ा और थोड़ा और. That's how athletes go to Olympic level and beyond. That's how people do 500, 600 kilometers of ultra marathons. Okay, things like that. So stretch yourself. Don't be in a complacent zone. Learn things. Be open to new things, and invoke pressure. When pressure comes and you don't crumble, you will become a diamond. And a diamond has clarity. So you should have clarity of goals. It can come at age of 35, 25, 15. That's okay. Be an explorer, be a traveler. Don't be under any hurry. What to do. People who are very talented actually have this problem. They don't know what to do because whatever they do, they are able to do it. But जहाँ उसमें depth की जरूरत होती है, they leave it. So you have to learn to match that out. So get clarity, then get color. Life में extracurriculars होना बहुत जरूरी है. Lot of Indian students who go abroad, they do very well on CGPA, etc. Academically, but they don't get good jobs. Why? Because they are not conversationalists. They can't talk about NBA, basketball, football, American football, rugby. They can't talk party. They can't talk weather. They don't know about cocktails. They've gone to a barista or a Costa Coffee, but they don't know the menu by heart. बस एक सुना सुनाया कि कैपुचिनो ला दो या एस्प्रेसो ला दो और that's it. एक अमेरिकानो ला दो. Things like this. Why don't you have a big range? Why don't you understand what is a new thing, new recipe, new dish on the menu? Okay? Only then become a Vasco da Gama. Why should Vasco da Gamas and Columbuses discover the new worlds? Why can't you? Why should the foreigners come to us and discover us? Why can't we go out and discover their strengths? And Aham Brahma asked me, so go within also. Mind, body, soul, heart. Okay, work on all dimensions. It's a gift. I don't know why gift came. Parents do some hanky-panky stuff. Okay, and we come in this life. Nobody asks us. But when we are given this nurture by the family, society, and when we are 14, 15, 16 years, then you should become a grown-up. Then you should begin asking questions and choose your own thing. Listen to everybody, but make your own calls. Make mistakes. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. वो कौन साइंटिस्ट है जो मिस्टेक नहीं करता? बना बनाया वैक्सीन सीधा बन जाता है कि किसी चीज का? कोई म्यूजिक का पीस है सीधा ही परफेक्ट हो जाता है? No, everything is in steps, iterative. And there's another thing about skilling. When a pilot thinks about his 20-minute flight all day, evening mein when he's nursing a drink seated across the bar with his friends, he's thinking and reliving every moment, every minute of that 20-minute flight he did in the morning or in the day. And that's how perfection comes. That's how excellence comes. That's how better control comes. So get color in your life, do a lot of extracurriculars, get clarity, get cuts, multi-dimensional personality. Shouldn't be बस प्योर वकील साहब हैं और बाकी उन्हें कुछ नहीं पता, या वो कॉमर्स के टीचर हैं उनको साइकोलॉजी वगैरह बाकी डिसिप्लिन नहीं पता. ये एक और डायमेंशन हमें एज अ करिकुला वाइज जो भी कोर्स डिजाइनर्स हैं ध्यान रखना होता है. आई नो ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स, जैसे आसाम का कोई लड़का है, दिल्ली में किसी एमबीए कॉलेज में पढ़ रहा है, मदर नर्स है, फादर का पता नहीं है, और मदर ने प्रोटेक्ट किया है बच्चे को, सिखाया है, बच्चा सीधा है, शरीफ है, बिगड़ा नहीं है. वो बी स्कूल में दिल्ली के 2 साल से पढ़ा है. उसका रूटीन क्या रहा है? सुबह वो उठता है 7 बजे, 8 बजे, 8:30 बजे वो क्लासरूम में पहुंच जाता है, शाम को 5:30 बजे वो क्लास छोड़ता है, 5 बजे जाके अपने कपड़े धोता है, 3 लड़कों के साथ रहता है वो पीजी में, फिर वो अपना खाना खूना बनाता है। उसने 2 साल में सिर्फ 2 पिक्चर देखी, मूवीज भी नहीं देखी दिल्ली में रहते हुए, इमेजिन। फिर वो असाइनमेंट्स करने लगता है, 2.5 घंटे उसको स्टैट्स और मैथ की असाइनमेंट में लग जाता है। लाइफ में स्टैट्स मैथ कितना इंपॉर्टेंट है, बाकी चीजें करी नहीं, और इस टीचर ने डराया हुआ उन्हें, और ये मुश्किल पेपर लग रहा है उसे, तो ओवर एम्फेसिस ऑन स्टैट मैथ, बाकी चीजें करता कम है। एनीवे, रात को 12 साढ़े 12 बजे सोता है, सुबह फिर उठता है। 2 साल से ये काम कर रहा है। अब उसको प्लेसेबिलिटी नहीं हो रहा, उसकी पर्सनैलिटी में वो निखार नहीं है, उसकी बोलने में वो लच्छेदार तरीके का स्टाइल एंगल नहीं है, कन्वर्सेशनलिस्ट नहीं है। उसने एमबीए में 4 सेमेस्टर में, हर सेमेस्टर में 8 कोर्स, तो अराउंड 32 कोर्सेज पढ़े हैं, उनके एग्जाम्स दिए हैं, आवरलीज दिए हैं। पर पैनल आता है कॉर्पोरेट का, वो कहता है ओके, कैन यू टेल अस डिफरेंस बिटवीन सेल्स एंड मार्केटिंग, और लड़का ब्लैंक है। क्या पढ़ाया टीचर्स ने, उनकी खबर लें जरा जाके। आपकी क्लासेस में रोज आया बच्चा, उसने तो मिस भी नहीं की, कुछ तो चलो बंक करते हैं, वो तो शायद चालाक हैं, वो आगे भी निकल जाते हैं लाइफ में, क्योंकि उन्होंने क्लासेस मिस की। आपने कितना कुछ पढ़ाया और बच्चे को कुछ आता नहीं है, कुछ तो अकाउंटेबिलिटी होना चाहिए। बच्चा क्लियर ही नहीं है लाइफ के बारे में, गोल्स के बारे में। हाउ डज इट हैपन? सो आई थिंक some maturity, some ownership is needed. I'm talking with you, I'm trying to give a perspective about what education is, ought to be, not, is not, what is wrong. I'm not thinking politically, I'm speaking from my heart, from my experience. And you are also grown up. Whatever you like, you take it. Whatever you don't like, reject it. You can't say I'm bad or a villain. Similarly, you get it? So it has to be a grown up kind of an interaction, adult kind, where there's a discussion and the thinking goes higher, the knowledge goes higher, and the skill goes higher. And skill would mean what? I'll say, एक टैंक है, उसमें टैप ए 20 आवर्स में भरती है, टैप बी 30 आवर्स में भरती है, टैप सी उसको 10 आवर्स में खाली करती है। अब टैंक जो है वो हाफ भरा हुआ है, और मैंने टैप ए को 1 मिनट खोला, फिर टैप बी को 1 मिनट खोला, बंद कर दिया ए को, फिर सी को खोला, ऐसे कुछ कॉम्प्लिकेटेड स्कीम मैंने बता दी, और मैंने कहा कि अब टैंक कितनी देर में खाली होगा या भरेगा, और एग्जाम आपको इसके लिए 1 मिनट देता है बस। 1 मिनट में आता है तो स्किल है, नहीं आता है गेट लॉस्ट, डू अनदर क्वेश्चन। ऑल क्वेश्चंस आर नॉट एसेंशियल। सब बॉल्स पे छक्का नहीं लगता, सब बॉल्स पे चौका नहीं लगता, कुछ बॉल्स पे विकेट बचाना होता है। सिमिलरली इंटरव्यू में उसने पूछा, आप आईएएस के इंटरव्यू के लिए गए, उसने कहा कि आप डीसी हैं उस शहर के, एक तरफ कोई गुंडा है, वो लड़कियों पे एसिड फेंकने की प्लानिंग कर रहा है, उससे 10 किलोमीटर अवे दूसरी तरफ कोई प्रोटेस्ट होने वाला है जहां पे प्रॉपर्टी को हार्म हो सकता है, आप क्या करोगे? So this case based of analysis, life situation based of analysis, if you can't handle, you will be a DC for a population of 10 lakh, 20 lakh people, right? A district has so many people, generally. आप कैसे मल्टीप्लिसिटी को संभालोगे, कैसे आप करोगे? So if you have a good understanding of exams and everything else, I think life is cool. A lot of great things can happen. I hope some good takeaways are happening.
Yeah, some takeaways are happening, sir.
Surely,
It's
sir.
really a takeaway.
We
Even
have been noting.
Okay, so if you have some questions, I think we are running out of time also, is it? Or do we have time? I have no issue.
Yes, sir. So there are some questions in the chat box for you, sir. Madanji says, do spiritual persons have better career skill than the commercial people?
ये रिलीजन स्पिरिचुअलिटी बहुत कॉम्प्लिकेटेड गेम है। So ऐसा है कि जिस क्षेत्र में आप हैं और वो क्षेत्र काउंट करता है। मान लो मेरा बटन टूटा हुआ है, अब जिसको बटन टाँकना आता है वो स्किल की जरूरत है, मुझे कोई स्पिरिचुअलिस्ट कुछ नहीं चाहिए, ना मुझे बिल गेट्स की जरूरत है। तो जो टास्क एट हैंड है उसकी इंपॉर्टेंस है, करेक्ट। सो करियर में मुझे अपना गोल सेट करना आना चाहिए, मुझे कोई इंटरव्यू पास करना आना चाहिए, मुझे अपना सीवी ढालना आना चाहिए। फिर व्हेन इन द जॉब मुझे डे टू डे बेसिस पे गोल सेटिंग, वीकली गोल सेटिंग, 3 मंथ गोल सेटिंग करना आना चाहिए। मुझे अपनी टीम में से आउटपुट लेना आना चाहिए और अपने आप से आउटपुट लेना आना चाहिए। सो करियर अच्छा इन सब से होगा, करेक्ट। अब इसमें अगर मैं स्पिरिचुअल हूं तो मैं अगले को डिग्निटी देता हूं, अगले को रिस्पेक्ट देता हूं, मैनर्स देता हूं, तो मैं उससे अच्छी आउटपुट निकालूंगा। अगर मैं जमींदार हूं, बंदूक वाला, तो मैं डरा के रखूंगा, हंटर से चलाऊंगा। तो हंटर से जो लोग डर जाएंगे वो मेरा काम बहुत अच्छा करेंगे, जो नहीं डरेंगे वो कंपनी छोड़ के भाग जाएंगे। तो उनका नया आदमी ढूंढता रहूंगा, तो मेरा टीम ही स्टेबल नहीं होगा कभी। आई एम जस्ट ट्राइंग टू कनेक्ट योर स्पिरिचुअल विद करियर, ओके। सो बहुत सॉफ्ट भी नहीं चलेगा, बहुत हार्ड भी नहीं चलेगा, राइट। सो आई थिंक इट्स अ कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ थिंग्स। एंड देन इफ आई एम अ गॉड गुरु, देन स्पिरिचुअल का वो ज्ञान, मैं भगवत गीता आपको पूरी समझा सकता हूँ, नहीं समझा सकता हूँ। मैंने अभी एक किताब पढ़ा था जिसमें उन्होंने रामचरितमानस की चौपाइयां शेप में भगवत गीता के सारे श्लोक लिखे। तो खड़ी बोली में या हिंदी में संस्कृत को हटा के उन्होंने हिंदी में रामचरितमानस के तरीके का उन्होंने चौपाइयां बना दी, सारे के सारे श्लोक। इजंट दैट ब्यूटीफुल? तो ये उनका करियर भी हो गया इन अ वे, जो ऐसी बुक
Yeah.
लिखेंगे उनके फॉलोअर्स भी ज्यादा होंगे, उनका बिजनेस, रिलीजन भी बिजनेस ही होता है, ओके,
Or
इन
even
अ
we
वे।
can add up that it's like something like innovation thing, like innovative idea come up, right? कि
यस,
चौपाइयां उन्होंने, yeah, it's like that. Yeah.
हाँ। सो बहुत, एक तो ना इंडिया में जिन्होंने इंग्लिश नहीं आती 5% लोग को आती है, बहुत ज्यादा डोमिनेंस है, वर्नाक्युलर को दबाया हुआ है, बहुत गलत किया हुआ है। ओरिजिनल थिंकिंग किसान को आती है, कितने लोगों को आती है, तमिल आता है, तेलुगु आता है। आप अपने डोमेन में अच्छे हैं, सच्चे हैं तो बहुत है बस। अगर आप उसमें नया नयापन कर रहे हैं, नवीनतम चीजें ला रहे हैं, तो आप बहुत अच्छे सिटीजन है, ह्यूमन बीइंग है, आगे जा रहे हैं। So I think I've partly addressed your question. It's too long. Okay, what's the next one, please?
So the next question is that you have talked a lot about the change in education that we have to do. And so,
I'm talking to university people, so I should be doing this. I don't want any
yes, sir.
boring university like any other. I don't want this sterling word to get rusted. पता लगे तो लोहा था और जंग लगा हुआ है, और ये तो नाम तो अच्छा रख दिया पर काम बेकार कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि 2 मिनट में पता चल जाता है मिठाई कैसी है दुकान की। बोर्ड तो अच्छा बना सकता हूँ, उसमें लाइटिंग अच्छी कर सकता हूँ, शोकेस अच्छा लगा सकता हूँ, पर अगर उसमें फ्रेशनेस नहीं है, उसमें मिठाई का स्वाद नहीं है, खुशबू नहीं है, तो रिपीट परचेज नहीं है, करेक्ट। हार्वर्ड स्टैनफोर्ड इसलिए अच्छे हैं कि जो हो गए वहां से उनके बच्चे भी वहीं जाना चाहते हैं। अब इंडिया में जो भी दूसरे लोग हैं वो अपनी जिस भी यूनिवर्सिटी से पास आउट हैं वो सोच के बताएं, अपने हाथ हाथ रखें दिल पे कि वो अपने बच्चों को चाहेंगे उसी यूनिवर्सिटी से या नहीं। इट्स अ वेरी गुड टेस्ट। रिपीट परचेज कैसा होगा, नहीं होगा। और आपको चेंज एजेंट्स भेजने हैं सोसाइटी में, आपको एल्यूमिनाई भेजना है जो अचीवर्स हो, और अचीवर सिर्फ जिनका नाम ख्याति होता है वो नहीं होते हैं, सिंपल पीपल भी होते हैं जो जहां भी जाएंगे। आपके किसी स्टूडेंट ने सोचा कि वो भुवनेश्वर के पास कोई गांव है और वहां रह के वो स्कूल में बच्चों को कुछ सिखाएगा। इट्स अ वेरी गुड पर्सनल ट्रिप, एंड दैट पर्सन इज एडिंग वैल्यू, एंड दैट इज व्हाट मेक्स अ कंट्री ग्रेट। तो अगर आपने कॉन्फिडेंस दे दिया, जैसे आई एम अहमदाबाद से जो भी पास आउट होता है, ऑलमोस्ट सभी लोग कहते हैं कि मुझे लाइफ में कुछ भी करने का कॉन्फिडेंस आ गया। वो इतनी भांति भांति असाइनमेंट्स, कोर्सेज, पता नहीं क्या क्या कराते हैं कि आपके मन में ये मुझसे नहीं होगा, या मैं इसके लिए क्वालिफाइड नहीं हूं, इसको तो हटा ही देते हैं। और ये मैं एवरेज जॉब करूंगा, ये भी हटा देते हैं। एनीथिंग वर्थ डूइंग इज वर्थ डूइंग वेल, फुल स्टॉप, राइट? सो okay, that was on the change. What was the question, by the way? Sorry.
So, what are the basic initial steps that the education policies need to look at?
बंदूक चाहिए। जो ये सिली, इनकॉम्पिटेंट, पॉलिटिकली मोटिवेटेड लोग हैं, इन सबको हटाना बहुत जरूरी है। जब तक वो डीएनए नहीं हटेगा ये लोग नहीं होने देंगे उसको ठीक। इसमें ब्लडलेस रेवोल्यूशन हो या ब्लडी हो आई डोंट नो, बट ये बिना रेवोल्यूशन के तो होगा नहीं। तो जैसे आपको जापान का एग्जाम्पल दिया, जब तक कस्टमर डिमांडिंग नहीं होगा कॉर्पोरेट अच्छा काम नहीं करेगा। इंडिया की कंपनीज एमएनसीज क्यों नहीं है? क्योंकि इंडिया में बिजनेस करने के लिए मुझे कस्टमर को सुपीरियर प्रोडक्ट देने की आवश्यकता ही नहीं है। मुझे सिर्फ एमपी एमएलए पुलिस वाले इनको अपने साथ रखना है, और एम्प्लॉयज तो दब्बू होते ही है बिल्कुल, उनको डरा के
Right.
धमका के रखना है, और मुझे बिजनेस को चलाना है। इंडिया का फॉर्मूला ये है बिजनेस चलाने का। तो जब वर्ल्ड लेवल पे जाएंगे वो कहेंगे वेयर आर योर वर्ल्ड क्लास प्रोडक्ट्स, यू आर अ रिलायंस, वेयर इज योर वर्ल्ड क्लास थिंग, यू माइट बी अ ब्लडी किंग इन इंडिया। ओके, टाटाज ने जैगुआर वगैरह कुछ अच्छे लिए हैं उस तरीके से, बट वर्ल्ड लेवल पे तो कुछ नहीं कर रहे। इन्फोसिस है जिसको हम चढ़ा के रखते हैं, वो क्या कर रहा है? हम वर्ल्ड के सॉफ्टवेयर के 2% हैं, उसमें भी हम कुलीगिरी कर रहे हैं, लेबर आर्बिट्राज कर रहे हैं, प्रोडक्ट तो हम बनाते ही नहीं है। तो कहने को हमारे लोग दिमागी हैं, वो जाके वहां एडोबी माइक्रोसॉफ्ट और पता नहीं कहाँ का क्या क्या प्रोडक्ट्स बनाते हैं। हमारी व्हाट्सएप कहाँ है? क्योंकि जब तक हम प्रोसेस ओरिएंटेड नहीं होंगे, जब तक हम सही मायने में चीजें नहीं करेंगे, वर्ल्ड क्लास एमएनसी नहीं बनेंगे। और जब तक कस्टमर डिमांडिंग नहीं है, जैसा प्रजा वैसा राजा, राइट? हमारा वोटर, हमारा स्टूडेंट, हमारा एम्प्लॉय जब तक वॉइस नहीं निकालेगा, अपना काम ठीक करे, और जो भी टीचर्स हैं, जो भी ब्यूरोक्रेट है, जिससे भी लेना देना, उनको भी क्लास लगा के रखे। उसके बिना नहीं ठीक होने वाला। अब घर के अंदर तो जो बेचारी आपसे 500-800 रुपए लेती है और बर्तन धोने आती है, उसकी तो आप क्लास लगा के रखते हैं। जो माली आता है आप उसको हमेशा डांट के रखते हैं, दबा के रखते हैं, तूने ये नहीं काटा वो नहीं काटा, दूध वाले के साथ लगे रहते हैं। जो गरीब है बेचारा उसके ऊपर बहुत चलाते हैं। जो आपके पास करप्ट लोग हैं जिन्होंने बड़ा बड़ा घर बना लिया है, उनको तो आप कहते नहीं आप करप्ट हो। शेम देम, टेल देम यू आर नॉट अ रोल मॉडल। ओके, आप अपने डीसी के पास जाएं, उससे पूछें क्या हो रहा है आपके शहर में। यू डोंट हैव टू बी पॉलिटिशियन, यू डोंट नीड टू कंटेस्ट इलेक्शंस। साल में एक बार तो जा सकते हैं। पर आप सोचते हैं वो तो फील्ड मेट से अलग है, वो पता नहीं क्या सोचेगा, मुझे दबाएगा डराएगा, क्या जरूरत पड़ी है, शर्म आती है। फिर सिटीजन क्यों, फिर क्यों चाहते हो देश आगे जाए? व्हाट हैव यू डन फॉर दैट? आई थिंक गांधी जी वाला कहना, चेंज स्टार्ट्स विद योरसेल्फ। इफ यू आर नॉट विलिंग टू चेंज, everybody else in the world will use you, exploit you, and give you shoddy service. You can have your own formula. My formula through education was to bunk the classes of useless teachers. I have regard for them as a human, but on the subject they were useless, many of them. Some of them were very good also. Okay, we used to have this workshop in which mechanical engineering workshop, big shed. So I'll not name the professors now, it's a public thing. So A and B, one workshop was by Professor A, one was by Professor B. Professor A will sit at the table at the entrance of that workshop and say, वो lathe machine है, वो miller है, वो planer है, like this. And the class will be over. And the Professor B, I can take his name, Vora. He'll take us to the lathe machine, he'll dismantle it, and 3 hours we'll all be sweating, and he'll reassemble it, and he'll ask the students, अच्छा ये वाले पीस को क्या कहते हैं, उसको हाथ लगा के बताओ। तो कोई दूर से उंगली करे, सर वो वाला है, नहीं हाथ लगाओ। तो 3 घंटे के बाद सबकी शर्ट्स काली हो जाती थी, ग्रीस लग चुका होता था। तो जो वोहरा ने सिखाया हम सबको याद है अभी, जो दूसरे ने सिखाया वो सिखाया नहीं, याद क्या हो। राइट?
Right.
कितने लोग इंडिया में
So,
कॉमर्स पढ़ते हैं, बीकॉम पढ़ते हैं, उनकी वेल्थ मैनेजमेंट स्किल क्या है? जीरो। क्योंकि क्लरिकल तरीके से पढ़ा सीखा, वॉमिट किया 6 पेज का आंसर, एंड दैट्स इट। I think we need to objectify, we need to bring technology in the right sense. I can tell you a beautiful example of Toronto University. This boy joined after 12th in Toronto University. He had one course, many courses. The one course was environmental something. Okay? And उसमें 3000 word का एक essay देना था, बस और कुछ काम नहीं, कोई क्लासेस नहीं, नथिंग। क्रेडिट है कोर्स का, उसका ग्रेड लगेगा और 3000 वर्ड का एस्से देना। उसकी रिक्वायरमेंट में उन्होंने कहा आपकी इंग्लिश ठीक होनी चाहिए। तो उसके लिए उन्होंने एक ऑनलाइन क्विज दिया सब बच्चों को कि तुम अपनी मर्जी से करो, और उसमें 26 क्वेश्चंस थे और तुम्हारे 22 ठीक होने चाहिए। तो इस लड़के ने किया, तो उसके 22 ठीक नहीं आए। तो उसके सामने स्क्रीन पे आया कि योर सेंस ऑफ पंक्चुएशन इज बैड, डू दिस क्विज, योर सेंस ऑफ bibliography is not okay, do this quiz, and something on some grammar thing also he did wrong, you do this quiz. तो उसने पंक्चुएशन की क्विज के 12 क्वेश्चन किए, वो ठीक हो गए, गुड। फिर उसने किया, एंड सॉफ्टवेयर पीछे ध्यान रख रहा है सारी चीजों का। फिर उसने किया बिब्लियोग्राफी का क्विज, पढ़ाई करके कि कैसे लिखते हैं हार्वर्ड स्टाइल बिब्लियोग्राफी, वो उसका ठीक हो गया। कॉमा कहाँ आएगा, इन्वर्टेड कॉमा कहाँ आएगा, इटैलिक्स में क्या होगा, वेबसाइट के सोर्स को कैसे लिखना है, टू ऑथर के पेपर को कैसे लिखना है, सम ऑफ यू वुड अंडरस्टैंड ऑल दैट। देन उसने वो टेंस ग्रामर वाला किया, उसमें उसका आया कि यू आर स्टिल बैड ऑन दीज टू एरियाज। So he did those two quizzes. Now message आया, you are ready for the final quiz again. So you'll get the final quiz and you should get 21 correct on that. And if you don't, you'll have to go through remedial classes. इसमें फिर उसे classes join करनी पड़ी। उसने वो किया और उसमें उसका 27 क्वेश्चन में से 23 आ गया, 21 से ऊपर। तो done. Now only submit the essay. Job is done. Now 3,000 people inducted after 12th in Toronto in that course. चाइना से भी, इंडिया से भी, पता नहीं कहाँ कहाँ से। सबकी इंग्लिश अच्छी कर दी ना उन्होंने थ्रू बेसिक प्लानिंग ऑफ क्विजेस। जहां भी जाएंगे कॉमा की गलती नहीं करेंगे। इट्स विद अपॉस्ट्रोफी एंड इट्स विद अपॉस्ट्रोफी, दोनों का मतलब पता लग गया। ठीक है, यू आर नॉट एज स्मार्ट एज आई लिखना है या यू आर नॉट एज स्मार्ट एज मी लिखना है, वो ठीक हो गया। ग्रामर के रूल्स वगैरह नहीं कुछ सिखाए ना चाहिए, प्रैक्टिकल इंग्लिश आ गया, गुड, फेयर, यू विल नॉट बी सिली। अब बिजनेस के स्पेलिंग गलत लिख रहे हैं एमबीए करने के बाद, आप करियर के स्पेलिंग कैरियर लिख रहे हैं, वो ट्रक के ऊपर लिखा होता है पब्लिक कैरियर, प्राइवेट कैरियर, पब्लिक कैरियर, और लिख रहे हो आप कैरियर गोल्स। Why? I think basic technology, no hi-fi technology, just planning of quizzes, everything done. We are talking that बच्चे ने इतने सारा सेमेस्टर पढ़ाई किया और उसे आता कुछ नहीं है। Why can't a teacher ensure that आज की क्लास में से सेल्स एंड मार्केटिंग का डिफरेंस 1 मिनट इंटरेस्टिंग जैम करना विद एग्जाम्पल सबको आ जाए। ये सिंगल गोल रखता अगर टीचर, तो लाइफ अच्छी नहीं होती। और टीचर ने फिलिप कॉटलर के पीज और ये और वो सोसाइटल मार्केटिंग, प्रोडक्शन कंसेप्ट, पता नहीं कहाँ की बातें सुनाई होंगी, और बच्चे को रिसीव कुछ नहीं हो रहा। आई बिलीव दैट क्लास में अगर एटलीस्ट माई फॉर्मूला इज, अगर 60 मिनट की क्लास है, क्लास में 3 तरीके के स्टूडेंट होते हैं, वेरी गुड, ए लेवल, मीडियोकर्स बी लेवल, एंड पीछे रहने वाले सी। तो मेरा तरीका तो ये है कि मैं 50 मिनट तो पढ़ाता हूँ वीक वालों को, जिससे उन्हें बेसिक चीज समझ आ जाए, और 10 मिनट आई गिव लॉट ऑफ इनपुट्स टू द ए लेवल स्टूडेंट, बिकॉज आई बिलीव दे हैव इनिशिएटिव, दे विल गो एंड अंडरस्टैंड माय थिंग एंड डू एक्स्ट्रा रीडिंग। जो बीच वाले हैं, आई डोंट ट्रबल देम एट ऑल। तो जिस दिन उनका मूड होगा वो ए वाला एंटीना खड़ा हो जाएगा, जिस दिन वो स्लीपी मोड में होंगे तो सी वाली चीज उन्हें समझ आ ही रही है, बेसिक इंटेलिजेंस आई है, तो वो भी हैप्पी है। एंड एज अ क्लास मेरी ओवरऑल क्वालिटी ऑफ आउटपुट बेटर हो गया। So that's my formula, practical formula. If your entire country can follow this tactic, I can share 20 such tools or simple things to do. I don't know.
That's really a wonderful session, right? Dr. Tanu, I think the time is going on, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
I can add up
We do have
once.
many questions.
I'll just add up to Dr. Sandeep Man once you are giving thanks to him and her. Sir, Sandeep ji, it's really a wonderful, that you address the students and faculties about the, real situations. कि हम लोगों को प्रोसेस ओरिएंटेड होना चाहिए. We should raise our voice, you know. We take this opportunity that क्यों MNCs हमारे यहाँ नहीं हैं, what are the, you know, lacking behind them, and how to teach the students like in the category wise A, B, C, so that, you know, everybody, you know, can getting the particular real situation, so that cope up their life skill and career skill as well. It's really a wonderful. And now over to Dr. Tanu for a thanks.
Thank you, ma'am. So thank you, sir, for your words of wisdom about education and what are the requirements of current education. How education policies need to work according to the current times and work on now and not only focusing on the past. Thank you for talking about that. You also emphasized on peer learning, which is actually required these days. And being from psychology background, I could actually relate it to when you said EQ is required in the educational setup and everywhere. And this is important that we inculcate it in the very education system of ours. Thank you for bringing out a lot of brainstorming about the practical life skills in this session. Thank you so much, sir. We look forward to have you again.
It's a pleasure. I put my WhatsApp
Thank
number
you.
on chat. So if anybody would like to do a dialogue, I'm there. If I can add some value. And I think this should be interactive. In your next session, you should handpick maybe 5, 6 people who can be face of the audience and make it interactive. This PPT, etc. Sorry, ma'am, but I find is boring and.
No, it's really a real session. You know, we really acknowledge that. Thank you for that. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Bye bye. Yeah.
Thank you. Bye bye.